Okay. So what about Netflix?
I know the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight is going to get a lot of credit for Netflix doing well, and it had a small part to play. Going back to the password crack being cracked down upon, that helped a hell of a lot. But I think they're just operating at a very high level. It's interesting to see the NFL now take on the NBA for that Christmas Day viewership.
Hmm.
All of a sudden, we get a Beyonce halftime performance on Christmas Day. For everyone who's wondering, this is the real home run. Like the Jake Paul fight, that was a test. Now the streaming was a little bit glitchy. It won't be when Queen Bee gets on stage. I promise you that. Um, so I think some of the future forecasting, because if the Jake Paul fight had what 60 something million people watch it, you could assume at least 40 million people will probably watch that game on that Sunday. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start having some upsells or bundles that they add in the next year to increase their profit margin. So if you look at that media landscape, to me, there's only two or three. There's Apple, YouTube, and Netflix. And if you're looking at like streaming, they're the ones who really made streaming incredibly popular. So companies being ran incredibly well. Profit margins are getting better. They saved a lot of money or brought a lot of money in by cracking down on the password sharing,
Hmm.
which became like a mandatory innovation for everybody in that space. And they're the leader in that streaming space. Like Netflix is TV, YouTube is TV. Time Warner, Comcast, Xfinity. I don't know. You got to figure something out for this
Comcast
next
trying
big shit.
they're trying to split the companies up. I think you nailed it. When you look at the Jake Paul thing happened just last week, right? And so we
Mhm.
saw some growth there, but Netflix has been on the tear. Over the past year, they've revenue has grown over $10 billion, which is a 41% increase. Right, we're talking about 41% increase for a company that's absolutely ridiculous. The crackdown on the passcode sharing has only helped to have new subscribers. Right, so the person
Dramatically.
who you used to share your code with can't be part of it anymore. They've added 5.1 million new subscribers, which brought them to nearly 283 million globally. What that means is that there's more eyes, and when you have more eyes, you can do something that you didn't mention, but I'm
Mhm.
sure you will recognize is that the growth in the ad revenue,
Insane. Yeah, yeah, yep.
right? So when you have people that can now have the ad tier base at a lower price point, whether it's 5.99 or 6.99, companies now can pour in. Now imagine when they have the next event, which will be the Super Bowl, how many commercials will be
What are
happening?
those ads going for?
Nobody's talking about that ad money, but we see the Super Bowl
Oh
is sold
my.
out already. But what is the Christmas Day game now? What are those ads now that you know that Beyonce's performing, which is going to bring more eyes to it? How much are you selling
Mhm.
those spots for? So you're talking about more revenue. They're going to keep fighting for NFL games, right? I'm glad you brought up because Adam Silver was saying this in one of his statements. He said, "We gave the NFL Thanksgiving, and they usually let us have Christmas, but now they've come in and said, no, we're going to have Christmas
It's
too."
over with.
Right?
Yep.
Thanksgiving is ours and Christmas is ours too. And we already know how much the NFL dominates. But that ad revenue piece is very important. And we're just going to see that grow as more subscribers come in, more live events happen. There's going to be more ad space, which means more dollars. As more people move away from linear TV, you're going to see them start spending inside of streaming, specifically with Netflix. Disney will be in there as well as they try to figure out what they're going to do
Yeah.
with ESPN and all those things. But the ad revenue is a place that they didn't have revenue coming in from before because it wasn't an ad revenue platform. Now we found new ways to make money, and they've cut costs on some of the things that they used to put out. Right, like you don't
Absolutely.
see too many, as many, not too many, but as many Netflix original movies as they were doing maybe 2 to 3 years ago, because the
Mhm.
amount of money it cost to put them out, plus what they were paying actors, right, that has come down.
Mhm.
So you
And
cut
then
costs and take in
yeah.
revenue.
And then I don't know if you guys saw WWE shut down their streaming service. All of that content going back to the 1950s will now be uploaded on Netflix. So it's interesting that even as big as they are, they still find a niche audience to target and bring all that content over to. Vince McMahon didn't pay anybody, so there's no royalties that he owes to The Rock or Brian Pillman, God rest his soul. I'm like, this is clicking. And also on the ad revenue side, if they find a way to get more performances inside of these games and make bigger concerts out of them,
Mhm.
now you're not just paying for one day. If they're restreaming, what is the back end on the ad revenue that they're going to get?
Right.
And don't let them pull that Trump card out, no pun intended, and get Beyonce and Taylor to do a concert together.
That's what I was saying. Who's going to be the next live concert? We've seen live comedy shows.
Swiftie.
We saw the roast with Kevin Hart, how well that did. Amazon did the Kendrick show, but who will be the next live show, the next live tour?
That in Japan would be kind of crazy.
Maybe it's an Australian tour.
Kendrick killed my guy. He made my guy cut off the braids. I said, "Ooh, boy."
February 9th, Australia. Sydney. Maybe.
Mustard.
So how you feel about Trump potentially acquiring a cryptocurrency exchange?
Man, I'm gonna be real. If we go on old school business, 1980s, 1970s, and if crypto helped me win, it would be a very smart hedge for when he gets out of office. If he angles himself as a pro crypto president, same with wrestling and other niche audiences, like he'll have a built-in, he already has one in MAGA for sure. But if he's going to treat crypto like digital real estate, it will be a well-played move on his end. I don't know which one he would acquire, but strategically from a business standpoint, it would be smart to do so since everyone is so pro crypto. And the interesting part, even if the crypto community didn't like you, if you begin to like the assets they like, they love you. That's Trump's core marketing plan. Like, okay, I'm going to tap into an audience that are so fanatical, they'll get behind me. Well played.
Yeah, well played. And we've seen it work already. We've like Truth Social didn't exist 3 years ago.
At all.
Right. He ran off, he made $6 billion on that. Right. So if you're talking about a crypto community, he's been pro crypto. I'm sure tons of money will be poured into that just because of the support for him and the lead. I guess we can say a cult of people that follow and believe in his ideologies. They're gonna flock to this too. And even if a large amount doesn't, all you need is a few. Right. You get some big, you get some whales inside that space. And now all of a sudden it looks different. But this is a long-term play. I don't know if Truth Social lasts the test of time. It won't. I don't know if it's here in the next 5 to 10 years. But
yeah, I don't know.
The question is, will Bitcoin?
Well,
absolutely.
There you go.
He also announced some of the holdings that he has in crypto, Ethereum. Trump has over $1 million in Ethereum. Then he has WETH coin. He has Trump coin, obviously. He has TROG coin, GUA coin, USDC. So yeah, he announced over $5 million that he currently has in crypto amongst those coins alone. Yeah. So that's interesting to see that none of those coins are, other than Ethereum, are major coins.
Yeah.
On the market. I mean, USD is a stable coin. So, but outside of that, in Ethereum, none of those coins are major coins. So, but that's some of his crypto holdings. So he's definitely pro crypto, and has championed it and has appointed people that are going to make it a lot easier for the deregulation and for cryptocurrency to thrive.
What happens if? I mean, I'm starting to think about who is the competitors in that space. American exchanges. You got Coinbase. You got Gemini. Who else? Robinhood. Right. What? I mean, is there a conflict of interest there if the Department of Justice starts investigating those companies as he purchases?
I got the House and the Senate, and when there's an economic tightness, no one gives a fuck about regulation.
Well,
I remember back in the day. Let's go to 2010. If you went on CNBC, you could not talk your portfolio openly.
Well, one of the things of Project 2025 is to actually take away the autonomous power of agencies like the Department of Justice and FBI, which essentially work outside the realm of the presidency. But that was one of the things actually inside the Project 2025 where they wanted to actually more centralize FBI and DOJ specifically to have it answer to the president and have the president have direct influence over those bodies. And the guy that wrote the
he just got a point, right?
Yeah. So
Yo, you have the Department of Justice investigate Coinbase, investigate Gemini, investigate Robinhood, while you purchase exchange yourself. That hurts the competitors, but will help you in the standpoint
That's
of
the way business has always been done. Like competitors used to poison other competitors' products in an open market in the 60s and 70s to bring up the value. If you look at American business historically, let's say prior to 1980, very grimy. All those players have not left. Is it right? Is it morally just? No. But no one remembers. Bill Gates, one of the richest men on earth, never built the initial frameworks for Microsoft. He illegally licensed them and built upon them. No one remembers who he stole that shit from in Albuquerque.
Allegedly.
Shout to William H.
Thank you.
Billy Bathgate, E-Money Bags.
Easy money bags.
Yo, American business is wicked, man. I know it has this nice Disney veneer on top of it now that everything is smooth. American businesses, and this is how it's always been done. Even I love Fifth, and Fifth takes a lot of credit for the fall of Murder Inc. Oftentimes 50 leaves out that federal case. A lot of times legally, when these happen to XRP, a lot of coins floated up while they were having legal issues.
FTX.
Got to be mindful. Your enemies are going to find different ways to attack you that are not always head on. It's interesting that shout to Zuck, he may have got inspiration from the Winklevi twins and then blocked them out of the industry in which they were catalyst in and made them go to a whole another space. The irony is the crypto thing worked for them, but remember when Meta tried to make that coin?
We forgot about it. He just swept that one right under.
You got to put them losses away. I ain't mad at him.
Yeah, let's not even bring it up.
Well, that really wasn't a loss because the government went after that right away. So that failed before it started because of the government.
Yeah.
The government targeted that, and it never really even got a chance to. I don't think it ever became a product that was open to the public. The government, Department of Justice, was on that right away as soon as they announced it. So that's not as bad as the metaverse thing for them.
No. Yeah, they won't compare. But
that's
also
like TikTok. They tried, and once the government was just on it. That's like when he was in front of Congress every week at one point.
Did the Winklevi twins have anything to do with that?
Who knows? Apple might have had something to do with it. A variety of different people might have something. The banking sector. You know, at one point in time,
the banks. Ooh,
everybody hated Zuckerberg at one time.
At one point, and he had to go start kissing them rings and learn to be a little bit more agreeable. It's working well now, but when he was going through that Cambridge Analytica, it's a rough little 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a rough. American business has always been treacherous. Dog, Bill Gates sent a fucking casket and wreath to the offices of Netscape, saying we're gonna give you 120 days before we kill you. What?
Yeah, they said it was Libra. I'm looking it up now. I can't remember the name. Libra.
Great idea.
Yeah, they shut it down and sold the project to Silvergate Bank in 2022.
That's crazy.
How much they spent? I wonder how much they spent.
Not as much as the metaverse.
Quantum computing.
Definitely not.